What's going on? This is a quick trade recap of today. Today's July 17th. We had some pretty crazy market movement, just complete downtrend since the morning of July 16th with this little bit up here, but that's Globex open, so that's expected. When I first got on here, I noticed the London low had not been taken, London high was taken, Asia high not taken. What I wanted to see was either a pop up to Asian high with a continued downtrend, or we come down here. ES at the time had already taken London low around this time. Um, so we can log on here and see how it goes. So make my coffee. We're currently between two lines right here, the 236 and 0, I believe. So sitting right at 923, we continue to continue. Market opens at 930 with the immediate downtrend or a little pop, which is cool. So I was immediately thinking we were going to page high and then immediately flip down to London low. Now we suddenly have a London low sweep, which is right here. This is we now have a London low sweep. London sweep. Meanwhile, yes, over here at 935 was chopping around, creating that bottom spec orb. We continue here to go through. Continue down, no trade was taken. And then right here, as we can see, it is. All right. Okay, so then as you can see here, we continue downward and then we get our first kind of blue candle there. Um, so we get our first blue one, so this gave me interest because as you can see too, 941 ES is starting to make its down move as well as, or 941, sorry, it's already coming up. So I believe I took a trade here, and I was immediately wicked out by that. So I lost 100 points on that term. This is clearly like a continuation pattern, I suppose. Kind of a D plus trade because I was anticipating just with ES confluence at this point and kind of falling in love with that bias of wanting to go up. So this is more like a D plus trade because we're in between two levels right now. So for that, risk management kept my stops short and I lost 100. So now we continue down. Our next level is obviously the 236. Continue down. We continue down. We don't hit the 236. We have this massive gap right here. So I'm just waiting. And of course, the trade begins to run. It is now 9:45 or has been printed. 9:45. Look what happens as well, right? Yes, it just pops up through all these fair value gaps. I'm like, oh my goodness, let me get in on that. So now I kind of chop around. I'm waiting for the print through. There's the print through. Still no FPG kind of form. Yes, we have an FPG here, but we don't have an IFPG. But I want to see an IFPG and then a retest. And at this point, my emotions are it's running without me. I'm going to miss out because wow, it's going. And there, right there, is our breaking retest. I tried getting in here. Trading view was having maintenance issues. This is where I was trying to get in at. So I quickly switched over to TraderBait, and I believe I got in around this area, and the trade begins to go. So let me just rewind for the sake of it. We got in. Let's just say we got in right here. Honestly, that's a good spot. I got in with, I believe, 3 micros, and I immediately put my stop to here. So 117 ticks. And my first TP was, I was looking at either bottom side orb or the 0 here. So I'm just going to go, let's just go to the 0 for 221. That's basically 2 to 1 RR. We confirm there, we can see how we can let that run. Nearly at 87. I believe I moved my stops up here. And my stop loss, I usually go singles. So I immediately went break even to let it chill. Came up here, and immediately was it there. That's not how it truly happened. I believe my trade, I was stopped out, I believe, by one of these wicks because I essentially did break even to make some profit, I believe, and then put it here because in my mind there's a gap. Yes, going to put a gap as we saw here, but it should never hit those points. I put it here, and I got stopped out. And then obviously you can see the rest of the trade run all the way and to catch up to where we were. We're going to be up there. My prediction for the rest of the day is to either hit 3-day open or come up to Asia high. But from what ES is doing that curve down, I think we may reach orb low again, maybe orb high before continuing higher. But that's the trade today. I made 300 across two accounts. I ended up taking a loss on that one account just because no other really trade presented itself. I was kind of waiting for the all right, I thought that was the X right here. That's funny. I was kind of waiting for the reversal, but got burnt out. But there's no other trade today because obviously we're in the middle of you know two different levels. Oh, well there we go. Now we have a 236 tab that we can look at and make decisions that are either continuation or not. But this end pattern here, that you can get chopped up pretty bad in that. Your next trade would have been an entry here with that print through. There's the retest. You could have entered on one of these two candles and then just let it run. Um, because we're eating up all of this liquidity, and then now we want to eat up all of this liquidity. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes. I expect this movement to continue into the afternoon. But that's the trade recap today. If you have any questions, leave a comment, leave a like.